Hey guys, I wanted to come on today and talk about the whoosh effect. The whoosh effect is something that's extremely common and happens to most people at the beginning of their keto journey. A great way to explain the whoosh effect is to imagine that your fat cells are big balloons and they're full of fat. But when you go on to the keto diet or a low carb diet, you are then burning that fat and you're dropping that fat. But those cells do not want to shrink. They don't want to go away. They want to stick around in case you do start eating glucose, eating carbs again, so they can fill back up and be ready for storage. So once you've burned off that fat and they don't want to shrink, your body actually fills them up with water. The water is kind of a holding place to keep those cells intact and ready. Many people at this point get frustrated because the scales aren't changing, so it looks like they're not losing any weight. People think that they've been doing this diet for 2 weeks, they've been dropping their carbs, watching what they're eating, and the scale just isn't budging. So people get frustrated and usually quit before they even get to the 2-week mark. But what happens all of a sudden is those cells that are full of water actually shrink and they flush and this is the whoosh effect. And as those cells flatten, you actually become smaller then too. That's one of the reasons why we suggest you take electrolytes when you start the keto diet. You want to make sure you're getting enough potassium, sodium, and magnesium. Sodium is an easy one to replace. You can just add salts to your food. Pink Himalayan salt is great because it has a lot of other minerals in it too. Potassium can be found in foods that you eat. And then magnesium is a great supplement to take at night in the evening. It'll actually help you sleep better as well. As you gain weight, your fat cells can multiply. But when you lose weight, you're not going to lose those fat cells. They're still going to be there, but they're just going to be flattened. This process is different. The whoosh effect is different for everybody. It's going to depend on what you're eating, how many carbs you're eating, if you're watching your macros. Some people it might happen within the first 2 weeks, and some people it may take longer. It may take a month or so. Everybody's body's just so different. That's why it's another good reason to take your measurements instead of watching the scale. Because one day you may just wake up and be 5 pounds lighter or a size smaller, but if you're watching it every day, it can get a little disappointing. Don't forget to connect with me and subscribe to this channel because I will be adding videos daily.